Hello and welcome to the Ultimate Personal Finance Planner. Have you ever tried to get your finances in order, but it's one, taken too much time, or two, been so confusing that you feel you need a finance degree just to get on top? Well, look no further. This template is designed to turn hours into minutes and is as easy as a copy and paste of your bank statement. In this video, I'm going to take you through each of the 6 easy tabs and why they're included. Then I'm going to show you how to customize your accounts like they're super glue. After that, I'm going to show you how to chart each transaction as well as how to use the time-saving automatic keyword search tool. And finally, I'll demonstrate how you can use the information the workbook fed through to get all the insights you need for your financial journey. If this sounds interesting, please click the like and subscribe button for more easy templates. To begin, you'll come onto this start screen. This basically gives you the chance to put in the month you want to start your yearly savings goal. It allows you to change a chart of accounts and to add any bank accounts and those bank accounts starting amounts. So this is basically just a setup tab as previously discussed. So for this bank statement, I want to do from April 2024, and that means it will finish in March 2025. Now for this, I'm just going to put a random yearly savings goal. Let's say I want to save £5,000 this year. Now, after this, the chart of accounts have already been all laid out for you, depending on which system you'd bought. But these are easily customizable. You can delete or change them as you see fit. Um, Anything you put down will have to be in an income or expense, like so, or it could be an NA which will not appear on your final summary. So, for instance, if you've bank transferred just from one account to another, that's going to be an NA. You can see business income that we want that to be an income. If you want to add any, let's say we want to add another travel, or let's say we want to add some sports equipment. I'll just put non-essentials, and then sports equipment, and then we'll make that an expense just as so. Now you can see here it's added on, and that means we're ready to go after that. There's nothing else you have to do unless you want to delete any, which is just as simple as going on here and clicking backspace to delete it and change it. I would recommend, if you've began charting, don't change any of the categories because this can mess up stuff, although the system will let you know if you've done anything to mess up on this in this way. But it's just recommended that if you started charting, probably best not to change any of the categories and add any new ones on that you need instead. So, so the start month has been done, yearly savings goal has been done, and we need to add some bank account names. So I'm just going to put John's Barclays account, and let's say this guy, made up guy that we're using, he had 13,000 in to start off. Now he's got another credit card account, and let's say that's a 0 at the minute. To be fair, if it's a 0, there won't be any starting amounts. But to be fair, we're not going to be using this second credit card, but it gives you the chance to add any that you want in. It kind of can show you on the dashboard how each bank account's changed. But for the time being, we're just going to use John's Barclays account. We're not going to bother with this credit card, so I'm just going to keep that as 0. Nothing will have come up on the latest date stamp because we have put no bank statement in yet. Once we put a bank statement in, you'll be able to see the latest date stamp. This is just to remind you, if you're updating it monthly, that this is the last time that you uploaded a bank statement. This is the date we've done up to, if you get what I mean. So after this, I'm going to go to the banking tab and I'm going to input the bank statement. So when you're inputting the bank statement, you just want to focus on these columns here, G to L, and you just want to focus on the bank account, date, reference, the debit and credit, and the manual. It's important to note as well that we have debits and credits on this bit, and if there is just a one line transaction, you just put it on this one. I'll demonstrate this very soon. For now, I'm just going to do the date and the reference and the bank account. So if I pull up the bank account right here, this is the bank statement. It is a bank statement from the 1st of April all the way up to the 31st of March. It's a full year one. I'm not going to be doing this monthly, but you can easily use this monthly and just update it every month at a time. Just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to do it all at once. So what we're going to want to do is firstly, we'll add the date. So if you want to click on the first date up here, and you can either drag all the way down, or you can use my little trick, which is Control Shift at the same time and then press the down button. And then next, you just want to copy and paste as so. Control V, or just paste in by pressing this paste button. Next, I want to include the reference. So I'm going to click again just here, Control Shift down, copy, and then click in here and paste as so. Next, I want to add which bank account it is. So like I said, we've got two bank accounts that we'd put in. These should come up on here. If you just click this little drop down button, I'm only going to be using John's Barclays bank account. So I'm just going to click on his name. And instead of going through each one and clicking John's Barclays account, I'm just going to press Control and then the down button on the date, which will take me to the bottom of the date. Then I'm going to go to here. I'm going to press Control Shift and then the up button. And then I'm going to press Control and D to bring all of these down to the bottom. To get back up, again, just Control and up. And that'll take you to the top. So now I've got the bank account, date, and references in. I can now add the cash. So if I go into here, now the debits are for if the money is coming in, and the credit is for if the money is coming out. So we can see here first that the debit is first. So I'm going to highlight the in column here. So I'm just going to Control Shift and down to get all the way to the bottom. And when I get to the bottom, it's going to shoot to the bottom of the screen. And then once it goes down, when you're still holding Control and Shift, just press the up button again. And then you want to right click, copy, and we want to put this in the debit section. So just paste as normal in there. As you can see, it's going to come up with some errors, but these are not to worry about. We will be fixing these. This is just a chart and error. There will also be errors if you get the date wrong here. So for instance, if I change this date to 2025, it's not going to work because of the cash. But if there was cash in there, you could see it'll highlight up here saying, watch out, your date is wrong. But for the minute, we just can ignore these errors because there is nothing wrong with the way that we're doing it so far. I'm going to go back onto here and I'm just going to do the same for the cash out. Just going to go all the way down. And then Control Shift and up again and copy this. Control Shift and V. I'm going to change this to 2024. I forgot to do that before. So now what you can basically start doing is I've got 600 transactions here. I can either go in and individually chart them based on your chart of accounts. So I'll do that for the first one. So BA, that is going to be a plane. So I can either go onto here and search for travel, non-essential, and it is an essential. What is it? Oh, travel. There we go. That makes more sense. And then planes and trains. And then once we put that in there, you can see the error is now switched to line 12. And it wants you to now fill in the line 12. So for line 12, I'm going to go to Greg's. So I'm going to take that as a quick lunch or a coffee. And then after that is Wilco, which I've got as a small house expense. You can also, to make it a bit easier, just type in small and it will come up small house items. Just hit enter and then that'll come up. You notice here that it is coming up here as well, but this is a completely different part, which I am just about to show you in a second. After that, curries, I've got electricals for that one. So I'm just going to put in as big electricals, and ACME limited, which is a debit, means it's coming in. That is a salary. So as you can see, also for these debit and credits, we've got this here like that, but we also have this manual. If these were, for instance, in just one line, you could just paste them all into here instead of using this. So for instance, if I do this minus this, you don't have to do this. This is just me proving a point. And then I'll drag this down. Just gonna copy and paste as a value. You can see the total cash is gone, but if I clear, this will just come up as exactly the same as it was before. Ooh. Turn these into minuses just because I did that the wrong way. But if you get what I mean, it is basically, if it just comes in one line, you can just paste it in that manual bit. It just makes it easier, so you don't have to do this yourself on your own bank statement. You've just got one or two options. So now that I have these, I'll just actually food shopping. I'll show you the automatic keyword search tool because there are 600 of these. I'm sure you don't want to see me do a video which takes 12 hours or some sort of thing going through these 600 transactions and me explaining which one's going to go into. Who would want that? Who would want to sit around for ages when we've got a specialized tool which automatically charts everything that you would need to be charted? Makes it so easy. So we're going to go to this automatic keyword search and we can see here the most used references all begin to come up and they're sorted in order of how often they come up. We can see we've got quite a few of them, but you can kind of get an idea, especially if there's an extra additional code on the side of how many individual ones keep coming up. So what we can do is we can use any of the keywords in here. So for instance, you can see down here, there is ACME limited. So I'm just going to type in ACME and I'm going to chart that to be my salary. So as soon as we do that, if I go into the banking, we can see here ACME is £3,364.52. That's just come in. We've got that as a debit. And we can see here there is a keyword search which highlights every time that keyword comes up and what chart it should basically go into. So you can either just individually one by one copy and paste that in like that and it'll get rid of the error. Or when you've got loads of them, you can just copy all of them all the way down. You can just copy and then paste into here as so. Now that this is going to save so much time if you just take a little bit of time to go into each one of these, landlord, that's going to be for the rent, EDF, that's going to be the electricity and energy. Same as British Gas. I'm just going to copy a few of these in. Actually, I'll just copy the most relevant ones in. Just going to paste these in here. You can just copy as you would normally, just right click copy. And you can quickly, I'm just going to quickly rush through this and just chart all of these. So now I've got some of these done. I haven't got all of them done. But if I go back onto the banking, you can see a lot more of these are now coming up as what they should be. So you can see at the minute we have 583. Now let's see if I can copy all of these down. Just right click, copy, and paste. So you can see that's almost halved how much it was, 280 now. So now you only have to do these individual little bits, which is not too hard. So, or you could go back to the automatic keyword search, and now all of these that you used before have now already been used. If you noticed while I was going through, I took out BA and EE, and I'm just going to say that for 2 and 3 letter words might not be the best. I know I put O2 and BT in, but it can be a bit of a risk as it will pick up just names that have like BA. Like there's so many words that could have BA in or EE, so I've just left those out. But for any longer words, like even KFC, it's a bit hard to have another reference that would have KFC in. So it's kind of up to you how you would kind of trust it. But for most words, should be completely fine. It's just those 2-letter, 3-letter words may sometimes not be the best ones to use. But for most of it, it should be completely fine. But you can basically go through all of them now that are still there and just go through and tick them off. I'm not going to do that just for the sake of time. I am just going to chart some more of these. So Spotify, I'm going to put that under subscription. And then I'm going to skip the video to once I've finished it, just so I can show you exactly what the key figures are that you're going to want to look out for after you've done that. So business expense, no, that's a charity for that one. Expense, Etsy income, business income, Starbucks coffee, and Uber taxi. Alright, I'm going to now skip the video and I'll get all of these done, and then I will be back with you to go through the key financial insights that you're going to find on the breakdown tabs. So now I've completely went down all of them and changed each one to be the right chart that I want it to go to. Once that's done, you can see up here there are no errors and nothing left to chart up here. So now you can simply go over to either the summary, account filter, or dashboard. I'm going to quickly go to the dashboard to go through the main key financial insights that you're going to want. So you can see that this person, whoever he is, has went through all of his savings. He's not really done a good job, to be fair. He's 36 grand down this year, so I don't know what he's been doing with his annual expenses, but it's not really been working for him too much. His goal, he would usually have a progress to the goal, and you would be able to see this fill, but that's not been the case. You can see up here on the total saved graph, he done quite well in April, down a bit in May. From June, July, August went absolutely awfully. In September, he has kind of, I guess he might have hit zero. October, November, December, January, February, March, though, he's just went absolutely awful. He really needs to get everything sorted out. We can see here the top 5 income accounts. The salaries is what's getting him the most money. He's getting a bit of money from his side hustle, bit of money from his business income, which, I mean, these could be the same. They might just be charted a bit differently. He's getting 3% from any bank transfers and stuff like that, and other is just he's getting 1% from other transactions. His top 5 expense accounts, rent seems to be quite a big one. His gas and electric, his rent seems to be absolutely abysmal. 111%. So he's obviously must have got a house or a flat that's just cost way too much that he can't afford. His utilities are only 12%. His big house items are 8%, and his electrical 7%, and his holiday spend is 6%. So everything else seems to be all right. It seems as though it's his rent that is screwing him over. I don't know if it's business rent or what. You can see here his income percentage increase. So in July went up a bit. August his income went up loads. But to see that went up in August, but his total saved is down here is just absolutely insane. You can see the same with his expense increase. If it goes down, it's better on this one. So we can see in August is went down quite a lot. So I'm surprised in August why he's struggling. Not me to judge. And his total annual income is 48,000. His total annual expense though was 85,000. And his average monthly income is 4,000, and average monthly expenses that much. His total cash movement has been £23,000. He's went down £23,000, and we can see his top bank account movements within the year. His Barclays bank account is went down 35,000. It would also tell you here if there are any errors and how many errors there are. I'm just going to quickly go to the account filter, and this breaks down everything you want to see about the account. So if I go into here, and I can see that rent was really high. If I go to rent and I'm on all months, we can see, yeah, there's just been so much rent taken out. But I assume, see, this bank statement's not a real bank statement, so this is probably where the issue's been. Yeah, it seems as though there's just been way too many rent payments come out. However, he's paying his landlord is insane. It's got him down 54,000. So maybe that's something that John could look into. You can also go by month as well. So if you can see just the ones in April, you can see here he's paid 2 in April. Let's see the ones that he paid in May. Just here, you can see 2 in May as well. He's paying two every month apparently. You can see his salary up here, how much he's got in May. He got 2 lots of salary in May. Not sure if he's doing that. And he made 39,000 and £39,257.10 in May. Next, we can go on to the summary of transactions, and here it gives you a breakdown of everything, how every account did over the year. So we can see on this top line there's the total income per month is by here, and the yearly breakdown is here. So in April 2024, he made £18,763.46. And in the year, he made £48,911.67. All in all, that's how much that he saved, which was the minus 36,000 that we saw in the dashboard tab. And we can see here with the blue ones are where it went up and the red ones are where it went down. There's quite a lot of red there. We can go into this part down here, which shows you each individual account that you have in the chart of accounts. You can see it by month here again, the side hustle and how well that's been doing. You can see here he got quite a bit. He got 1,000 in October, but it hasn't really been keeping up after that. It's went down quite a bit. Got 6,000 for the year, and you can see of that income, 12%. It is contributing to 12% of his income in this one, and the salary here is the same. That's contributing to obviously a lot more, and the business is contributing to 6.77. We've got a few interests in there and other, which I would usually just categorize it as I don't know where else to put it. I would put it in other. And we can see here the total income down here, which is the same as the top. Not only that, we can see the expenses down here, which we can see all in depth on how much you're spending. We can go back to the rent account to see how much you're spending on that one, which is abysmal, which comes to 110%. All of his salary is going towards rent. And then below you can also see the total expenses. So you can kind of just have a breakdown and see what exactly you're spending stuff on. It gives you pretty much a clear view on everything that you wanted to see when you are doing your personal finances. And the dashboard itself just gives you just a general overview of how you're doing and where you need to improve. If, for instance, your rent is coming to 111%, 110%, then you're probably going to need to do something about that, which is really, it kind of shows you where you're going wrong or where you're going well if it's the other way around. So we're going to leave the video there. I hope this has been insightful, and I'll be glad if this template has helped you towards financial freedom and owning your own finances. Please feel free to reach out to me on Etsy for any queries. Use the link in the description, and thank you for watching the video. Again, please like and subscribe for further help on achieving your personal goals through Excel, and the link to this Etsy template will be in the description below. Thank you very much.